Have you ever found yourself wondering if the man you're drawn to feels the same magnetic pull toward you? Does he think about you the way you think about him? Or are you misreading the signs? Let me tell you this. Men may not always say what they feel, but their actions will always reveal their intentions. If you've been waiting for the right clues, the secrets I'm about to share will change the way you see attraction forever. Here's the problem: most women don't know how to decode male behavior. They second-guess, overanalyze, or even miss out entirely on the subtle, unspoken ways men express their feelings. These signs are like whispers in a loud room. Hard to catch, but when you know what to listen for, they're impossible to ignore. And here's the thing: men, especially high-value men, don't play games. Their attraction to you is written in their presence, their gaze, their movements. This isn't about superficial tricks or overused flirting tactics. No, this is about tapping into the deep-rooted psychology, dark Stoic psychology, if you will, of how men communicate interest. Once you learn these behaviors, you'll feel an incredible sense of clarity and empowerment. You'll stop doubting yourself, and instead you'll notice how effortlessly you command his attention. Because when you understand how attraction works, it's not a guessing game, it's your game. Stay with me, because each of these signs builds upon the last, forming a complete picture of how a man behaves when he's deeply, irresistibly drawn to you. Ready to dive in? Let's start with the first and perhaps most revealing clue. 1. He seeks opportunities to be around you. A man who's deeply attracted to you doesn't need a grand reason to be near you. He just wants to exist in your orbit. It's as though your presence creates a gravitational pull he can't resist. Have you noticed him showing up at places he didn't need to be, or sticking around longer than the situation calls for? These aren't coincidences, they're cues. When a man is drawn to you, proximity becomes his silent language of attraction. Pay attention to the small moments. Does he linger after a group meeting, finding excuses to extend the conversation? Perhaps he accidentally runs into you at the coffee shop you frequent, or he suddenly shows interest in activities you're part of. High-value men, governed by principles of Stoicism, often express attraction in understated ways. They don't announce their intentions outright. They make you feel their presence. But why does he do this? Because being near you isn't just about proximity, it's about energy. He feels something in your presence that's hard to articulate, something grounding, something magnetic. And here's where dark Stoic psychology plays a role. His actions are deliberate yet subtle. He's testing the waters, letting you feel his consistency without overwhelming you. He knows the power of being reliable without being overbearing. Now, think about how he interacts when he's around you. Does he light up when you walk into a room? Is he quick to offer help, whether it's carrying something or fixing a small inconvenience? These are his ways of showing investment. Men express attraction through action, not just words. But here's a question for you. How do you respond when he seeks you out? Do you acknowledge it, or do you brush it off as coincidence? The way you engage in these moments can either deepen the connection or let it fizzle. A warm smile, a sincere thank you, or a small gesture of gratitude can let him know you see and appreciate his effort. And don't mistake this behavior as mere friendliness. A high-value man values his time. If he's spending it with you, if he's making an effort to share your space, it's because he sees you as someone worth that investment. Stoicism teaches men to protect their energy, and if he's willingly giving it to you, it's a sign he's prioritizing you. But here's the twist. This behavior isn't always overt. High-value men are often reserved in their approach, especially when they're genuinely interested. He might seem calm and collected, almost detached at times, but don't be fooled. That quiet effort to be near you speaks louder than words. So here's my advice. The next time you notice him finding ways to be around you, take a moment to acknowledge it. Smile, engage, and make the interaction meaningful. You'll not only validate his efforts, but also encourage him to continue. After all, building attraction is a two-way street. This is just the first step. If he's already showing up in your life in small but significant ways, you're seeing the beginning of something deeper. But it doesn't stop here. There's so much more he's revealing through his actions. Are you ready to decode the next sign? Let's dive into how his body language is giving him away. 2. His body language opens up around you. They say actions speak louder than words, and when it comes to attraction, body language speaks volumes. A man who's deeply drawn to you may not always voice his feelings outright, but his body will tell a story all on its own. Have you ever caught him leaning in just a little closer when you're talking? Does he turn his body toward you, almost like he's unconsciously aligning himself with your presence? These are the subtle yet undeniable signs of his attraction. When a man's body language opens up around you, it's his way of saying, "I'm comfortable here. I want to connect." He doesn't cross his arms or lean away. No, his posture is relaxed, his shoulders facing you, and his focus unwavering. It's as if his body instinctively wants to close the gap between you. Think back to the last time you were with him. Did you notice how he mirrored your gestures without even realizing it? Maybe you crossed your legs, and moments later he did the same. Or perhaps you tilted your head during a conversation, and he followed suit. This mirroring isn't just coincidence, it's a subconscious attempt to bond with you. It's his way of saying, "I'm on the same wavelength as you." But here's the real magic of open body language. It's about trust and vulnerability. Men, especially those who embody stoicism, often guard their emotions behind a composed exterior. But when they're with someone they're attracted to, those walls begin to lower. He'll find himself leaning in when you speak, not just to hear you better, but because he wants to be closer to you. His body naturally seeks yours, creating an unspoken connection. And let's talk about space. A man who's attracted to you will subtly close the physical distance between you. It might be as simple as moving his chair closer during a group conversation or finding reasons to stand near you in a crowded room. He's not trying to invade your space, he's trying to share it. This is one of the clearest signs of attraction, because physical proximity is something humans instinctively crave with those they desire. But what does all this mean for you? How can you respond to his body language in a way that deepens the connection? The answer is simple. Match his openness with your own. If he leans in, lean in too. If his body faces yours, mirror that energy. This creates a harmonious dynamic, a silent exchange that says, "I see you and I feel the same." And remember, attraction is a dance of give and take. While his open body language signals his interest, it also invites you to step into your confidence. Show him that you're not only receptive to his cues, but also secure in your own energy. Confidence is magnetic, and when you exude it, he won't be able to take his eyes or his focus off you. Here's a little challenge for you. The next time you're with him, pay close attention to his body language. Notice the way he positions himself, the way his gestures align with yours, and the way he gravitates toward your space. And if you feel the connection, lean into it. Let your body language do the talking. It's often more powerful than words. Now, let's turn this into a conversation. Have you ever caught someone subtly mirroring your movements or closing the distance between you? Tell me about it. Comment the number 1 if you've noticed this kind of body language before, or if this insight resonates with you. And don't forget, if you're enjoying this journey of decoding male attraction, hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for even more secrets about high-value men and their unspoken cues. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Ready to dive deeper? Let's explore the next irresistible sign of a man's attraction and how you can respond to it effortlessly. Stay with me. This is where things get even more interesting. 3. He maintains strong eye contact. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and when a man is deeply attracted to you, his gaze becomes his most honest confession. Eye contact is more than just looking, it's about seeing. When a man holds your gaze, it's as if time slows down for just a moment. He's not just looking at you, he's trying to connect with you on a deeper level, to silently tell you something his words might not yet dare to express. Have you noticed the way his eyes linger when he looks at you? It's not the fleeting glance of casual conversation. It's something more. His gaze lasts a second longer than expected, maybe even longer than he realizes. There's a warmth in it, a curiosity that seems to say, "You intrigue me." This kind of eye contact isn't accidental, it's instinctual. He's drawn to you, and his eyes are betraying his emotions before his words can. But here's the thing about eye contact, it's intimate. It's one of the most vulnerable ways to connect with another person. And for a man, especially a high-value man rooted in principles of Stoicism, prolonged eye contact is no small gesture. These men are often measured in their actions, careful about where they invest their energy. So when his eyes meet yours and refuse to let go, it's a sign that he's not just attracted, he's invested. There's something powerful in that unspoken exchange. In those moments of lingering eye contact, he's letting down his guard, allowing you to see a glimpse of what lies beneath his composed exterior. It's as if his eyes are saying, "I see you, and I want you to see me too." And don't think for a moment that this is something he does intentionally. Many men don't even realize they're doing it. It's an unconscious reaction to someone who captivates them. But it's also more than attraction. Prolonged eye contact signifies trust and comfort. He wouldn't hold your gaze like this if he didn't feel at ease in your presence. Let's talk about what happens when this gaze is shared in silence. Those quiet moments where words seem unnecessary are often the most telling. If he looks at you with softness in his eyes, or if his gaze lights up with excitement when he hears you speak, you're witnessing raw, unfiltered emotion. Now you might be wondering, what do I do when this happens? Do you look away? Do you hold his gaze? The answer lies in how you feel. If his eyes make you feel safe, if they spark a sense of connection, then hold that gaze. Let your own eyes do the talking. A confident woman who meets a man's gaze with equal intensity sends a clear message. "I see you too, and I'm here." But what if his gaze makes you feel nervous or flustered? That's okay too. Attraction often comes with a rush of emotions that can be overwhelming at first. If you feel the need to look away, do so gently, perhaps with a soft smile. This subtle response reassures him that you're not uncomfortable. You're simply processing the energy of the moment. Prolonged eye contact is also a doorway to deeper connection. High-value men often use it to gauge your response. Are you receptive? Are you engaged? In those moments, he's reading your cues just as much as you're reading his. It's a silent conversation, one that speaks of curiosity, admiration, and, above all, attraction. So, the next time his eyes linger on yours, remember, this isn't just a glance. It's a window into how he feels. Don't underestimate the power of meeting his gaze. It might just be the moment that changes everything between you. And when it happens, take a deep breath, lean into the connection, and let your eyes say what words never could. Stay with me, because the next sign is just as subtle yet revealing. It's not about what he says, it's about how he acts when he's near you. Let's explore this together. 4. He finds ways to touch you casually. Touch is one of the most primal forms of communication, a language that transcends words. When a man is deeply attracted to you, he'll find subtle ways to bridge the physical gap between you. These touches might seem casual, even fleeting, but they carry an undeniable weight. Each brush of his hand, every gentle tap on your arm, is a quiet signal of his growing connection to you. Have you ever noticed how he seems to accidentally brush against you when walking side by side? Or how his hand lingers just a second longer when he hands you something? These aren't mere coincidences. They're deliberate, albeit subconscious, attempts to create a bond. For a high-value man, touch is not just an act, it's an invitation, a way of testing the waters to see how you respond. And here's the beauty of it. These touches are rarely grand gestures. He's not trying to overwhelm you or make you uncomfortable. Instead, they're subtle. A light touch on your back as he guides you through a crowd, a playful tap on your shoulder during a joke, or a hand placed briefly on yours during an animated conversation. These small moments of contact carry an intimacy that words often fail to convey. Why does he do this? Because touch is deeply rooted in human psychology. When a man touches you, even in the smallest of ways, he's creating a sense of familiarity and connection. It's his way of saying, I want to be close to you, but I also respect your boundaries. This delicate balance is a hallmark of a high-value man. He doesn't rush or force things. Instead, he lets the connection build naturally. But how do you know these touches are more than just friendly gestures? Pay attention to the consistency. Does he touch you more than he touches others in the same setting? Is there an intentionality to his movements, even if they seem casual? Men who are deeply attracted to someone often show a heightened awareness of physical proximity. He may not even realize it, but his desire to be close to you manifests in these small, deliberate touches. And don't forget to notice his reaction when you touch him back. Does he lean into your touch, even slightly? Does his expression soften, or does his energy seem to shift in a positive way? A man who's drawn to you will welcome your touch, no matter how subtle, as it reassures him that the feeling is mutual. But let's not overlook the nervous energy that often accompanies these moments. For some men, especially those who embody Stoicism, casual touch can feel like a significant risk. What if it's misinterpreted? What if you pull away? This vulnerability makes every small gesture even more meaningful. He's stepping out of his comfort zone to connect with you in a way that feels authentic and honest. So, how should you respond? The key is to match his energy. If his touch feels natural and respectful, reciprocate in kind. A light touch on his arm during a laugh, a brief hand on his shoulder when you're thanking him. These small gestures reinforce the connection without overwhelming the moment. You're showing him that you're comfortable with his closeness, which encourages him to continue building that bond. Touch, as subtle as it may seem, is one of the strongest indicators of attraction. It bypasses the complexities of language and goes straight to the core of human connection. And for a man who's deeply attracted to you, each touch is a way of saying, I see you, I feel you, and I want to be closer to you. As we continue exploring his behaviors, you'll see how each of these signs weaves together into a tapestry of attraction. The next one is no exception. It's all about the questions he asks and what they reveal about his growing feelings for you. Let's dive in. 5. He asks thoughtful, personal questions. When a man is deeply attracted to you, his curiosity knows no bounds. He won't settle for surface-level conversations or small talk. He'll want to dive deeper, to peel back the layers and understand who you truly are. Attraction for him isn't just about how you look or how you make him feel. It's about connecting with the essence of who you are. Think back to your conversations with him. Has he asked you about your dreams, your passions, or the moments that shaped you? Does he remember the little details you casually mentioned weeks ago and bring them up at just the right time? These aren't random questions, they're intentional, and they're his way of saying, you matter to me. I want to know the real you. For a high-value man, governed by the principles of Stoicism, emotional depth is crucial. He's not interested in fleeting attraction, he's searching for something meaningful. When he takes the time to ask you thoughtful questions, he's investing in you, emotionally and mentally. He's showing you that he's not just here for the moment, he's here because he sees something worth discovering. And let's not forget how his questions make you feel. Have you noticed how he listens when you speak? He's not scrolling through his phone or glancing around the room. His focus is entirely on you, as though the world disappears in your presence. That intensity, that unwavering attention, is his way of communicating, you have my undivided interest. But why does he do this? Because attraction for him is more than chemistry, it's connection. He doesn't just want to know what you do for work, he wants to know why you love it. He doesn't just ask about your favorite travel destination, he wants to understand what it means to you. His questions are his way of building a bridge to your world, one thoughtful step at a time. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. The way you answer his questions can deepen the bond or let it stagnate. Are you opening up, sharing your dreams and vulnerabilities? Or are you holding back, keeping the conversation at arm's length? High-value men value authenticity, and they're drawn to women who aren't afraid to be real with them. The beauty of this dynamic is that it's reciprocal. As he asks thoughtful questions, he's also opening the door for you to do the same. Don't hesitate to ask him about his passions, his goals, and the experiences that have shaped him. This mutual exchange of vulnerability and curiosity creates an emotional intimacy that's impossible to fake. So, what should you do the next time he starts steering the conversation toward deeper topics? Lean in. Share something meaningful. Let him see the parts of you that you might not show to just anyone. Because when you do, you're not just answering his questions, you're creating a connection that lasts far beyond that moment. Let's turn this into a conversation. Have you experienced this kind of deep, thoughtful exchange before? If this resonates with you, comment the number 1 below. I'd love to hear about your moments of connection and the questions that left a lasting impression. And if you're enjoying this journey of decoding male attraction, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay with me as we continue exploring the subtle, powerful ways high-value men show their interest. Trust me, the next sign is one you won't want to miss. It's all about how nervous energy can reveal what words never could. Let's dive into it together. 6. He becomes nervous or fidgety around you. Even the most confident men, those who carry themselves with an air of calm control, can find themselves unraveling slightly in the presence of someone they're deeply attracted to. When he's around you, you might notice subtle shifts in his behavior, a slight nervousness, fidgeting, or moments where he stumbles over his words. These are not signs of weakness. They're powerful indicators of his heightened emotions. Think about it. Have you ever seen him unusually self-aware when he's with you? Perhaps he adjusts his shirt collar, runs a hand through his hair, or seems to overthink where to place his hands. These gestures may seem small, but they reveal so much. A man who is completely at ease with everyone else suddenly becomes a little unsure, a little more focused on how he's coming across. That nervous energy isn't random, it's a response to the way you make him feel. What causes this shift? It's the tension between his desire to impress you and his fear of making the wrong impression. High-value men, especially those who live by Stoicism principles, are often composed in their daily lives. They approach challenges with calm and clarity, rarely letting their emotions take over. But when faced with someone they're genuinely drawn to, that control can slip ever so slightly. This vulnerability is a sign of just how much you matter to him. You might notice him fidgeting with his drink, shifting his weight from one foot to the other, or even laughing nervously at his own jokes. These small actions are his way of processing the emotions swirling beneath the surface. His usual confidence is still there, but it's softened by the excitement and uncertainty you bring into his world. He's trying to navigate this new, uncharted territory of attraction. But here's the key. His nervousness is a compliment. It means you have an effect on him that few others do. You make him feel something real, something that shakes him out of his routine and makes him pay attention. His nerves aren't about discomfort, they're about the stakes being higher. He wants to show you the best version of himself, and that desire creates a certain tension. Now, how should you respond to this energy? The most important thing is to stay grounded and approachable. When you notice his nervousness, let your own confidence put him at ease. A warm smile, a steady tone, or even a gentle laugh can reassure him that you're not judging him for these small moments of vulnerability. In fact, it's often in these unguarded moments that true connections are formed. And don't mistake his fidgeting for a lack of interest. It's quite the opposite. Nervous energy often comes from caring too much rather than too little. If he's willing to risk looking a little less composed in front of you, it's because he values your presence more than his pride. This willingness to be seen in a less than perfect light speaks volumes about his sincerity. Pay attention, too, to how his nervousness evolves over time. As he becomes more comfortable around you, those fidgeting hands may find steadier places to rest, his laughter may become more genuine, and his words will start to flow more naturally. This transition is a beautiful indicator of the trust and connection building between you. He's finding his footing in your presence, and it's all because of the way you make him feel. Nervousness is often seen as a flaw, but in the realm of attraction, it's a powerful sign of emotional investment. When he becomes a little unsure of himself around you, it's not something to fix or avoid, it's something to cherish. It means you've touched a part of him that rarely gets stirred, and that, in itself, is extraordinary. Now, let's explore what happens when he takes this connection to the next level, when he starts going out of his way to be near you, to make you a consistent presence in his life. Stay with me as we uncover the next layer of his attraction. 7. He makes an effort to be around you more often. When a man is deeply attracted to you, his desire to be near you becomes undeniable. Suddenly he's everywhere, lingering after group hangouts, showing up at places you frequent, or finding reasons to text, call, or check in. This isn't just coincidence, it's intention. He's crafting opportunities to be in your presence because he feels a magnetic pull toward you, one that he doesn't want to resist. Pay attention to his actions. Does he suggest plans that he knows you'll be part of? Is he lingering after a casual meeting, hoping to extend the moment? Perhaps he even accidentally crosses paths with you in places you didn't expect to see him. These aren't random occurrences, they're calculated efforts to spend more time with you. A man who goes out of his way like this isn't just interested, he's captivated. But why does he do this? For a high-value man, time is his most precious resource. Governed by the principles of dark Stoic psychology, he doesn't waste it on people or activities that don't matter to him. If he's investing his time in you, it's because he sees you as someone worth that investment. Being near you brings him joy, excitement, and the hope of something deeper. Let's dig deeper into his mindset. A man who's drawn to you isn't just seeking physical proximity, he's looking for emotional closeness too. By spending time with you, he's building a foundation, layer by layer. Every shared moment, every casual interaction, becomes a stepping stone towards something more meaningful. He wants you to feel his presence, not just see it. Think about how he interacts in these moments. Is he fully engaged, leaning into conversations, and making you feel like the center of his attention? Does he light up when you enter the room, even if it's just for a second? These are the signs of a man who isn't just physically present, he's emotionally invested too. Now, let's talk about how you can respond. When he makes an effort to be near you, don't brush it off as mere friendliness. Acknowledge his actions, whether it's through a warm smile, a sincere thank you, or simply engaging with him in return. These small gestures let him know his effort is noticed and appreciated, encouraging him to continue seeking you out. But here's a question for you. Have you ever noticed someone going out of their way to be in your presence? Did it make you feel special, seen, or valued? If this resonates with you, comment the number 1 below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this subtle yet powerful sign of attraction. And if you're enjoying these insights, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to uncover about the way high-value men communicate their interest, often without words. Stay tuned as we explore the final sign, a behavior that ties all of these actions together into one undeniable message of attraction. You won't want to miss it. 8. He fixes his appearance around you. When a man is deeply attracted to you, his awareness of how he presents himself reaches a whole new level. You may notice him straightening his shirt, smoothing his hair, or adjusting his watch whenever you're near. These small, almost subconscious gestures aren't about vanity. They're about making sure he looks his best in your presence. It's his way of silently saying, "I want to be seen by you in the best possible light." High-value men, especially those guided by Stoicism, often maintain a composed exterior. They value control and purpose in their actions. So when he suddenly becomes more attentive to his appearance around you, it's a clear sign that he's feeling something deeper. He may not even realize he's doing it, but his subconscious is guiding him to ensure he stands out in your eyes. Think about it. Have you noticed him checking his reflection in his phone screen, adjusting his tie, or straightening his posture when he spots you? These aren't mere habits, they're indicators of how much your opinion matters to him. He wants to make a lasting impression, and he's using every opportunity to fine-tune the image you see. But this behavior isn't just about physical presentation. It's also about confidence. A man who is drawn to you wants to exude a sense of readiness and self-assurance. By fixing his appearance, he's boosting his own confidence while signaling his interest in you. It's a way of aligning his outer presentation with the internal emotions he's feeling. Let's dig deeper into this dynamic. His efforts to look good for you are often paired with a desire to make you feel special. He may dress a little sharper when he knows you'll be around, or wear a subtle fragrance he hopes you'll notice. These small, thoughtful details show how much care he's putting into his appearance, not for everyone, but for you. What's even more fascinating is how this behavior evolves over time. As he grows more comfortable around you, his gestures may become more natural and less self-conscious. You might catch him fixing his hair in the middle of a laugh or adjusting his shirt mid-conversation, no longer as a calculated move but as a reflection of how much he values your presence. These moments reveal his vulnerability, making his attraction all the more genuine. Now, here's something important to keep in mind. This isn't about you needing to compliment his appearance or acknowledge his efforts explicitly. Your presence alone is what's driving this behavior. The fact that he cares so much about how you see him speaks volumes about the depth of his interest. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up as the best version of himself because he believes you're worth the effort. Pay attention to these moments the next time you're with him. Notice how his energy shifts when you enter the room. Does he subtly straighten his posture or smooth his shirt when he catches your eye? These gestures are small but powerful. They're the unspoken ways he's telling you, "You matter to me." His attention to his appearance is just one piece of the puzzle, but it ties together everything we've explored so far. From his lingering eye contact to his thoughtful questions, his every action is a testament to how much he values the connection he's building with you. Attraction for him isn't about grand declarations, it's about the quiet, consistent ways he shows you that you're special. When a man is deeply attracted to you, his actions speak in ways that words cannot. From the way he seeks to be around you, adjusts his body language, and holds your gaze, to the moments he fidgets nervously or subtly fixes his appearance, all of it weaves a story of silent intention. High-value men, guided by stoicism and self-awareness, express their feelings through consistency, subtlety, and effort. These aren't accidental gestures, they're intentional signals that you're someone he can't help but notice. Now, the beauty of recognizing these signs lies in how they empower you. Understanding the unspoken ways a man communicates his interest lets you respond with confidence and clarity. You'll no longer be left wondering if he's drawn to you, you'll know. And with that knowledge, you'll have the freedom to decide how you want to move forward. The key takeaway is this: attraction isn't about flashy gestures or grand declarations. It's about the moments that feel natural yet meaningful. It's about the way he leans into conversations, asks thoughtful questions, and lingers a second longer in your presence. And most importantly, it's about his consistency, his quiet, unwavering effort to show you how much he values the connection. But remember, attraction is a dance of mutual energy. When you see these signs, reflect them with your own openness and authenticity. Hold his gaze, lean into his questions, and allow yourself to embrace the connection he's working to build. Attraction, after all, is strongest when it's rooted in honesty and vulnerability. So now, the question is, have you noticed these signs in someone around you? Have you experienced the quiet yet powerful language of male attraction? If this resonates with you, share your thoughts and stories. Let's keep this conversation alive and continue to explore the beautiful, intricate dynamics of human connection. Thank you for joining me on this journey to decode the unspoken signals of attraction. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video, comment your experiences, and subscribe to stay connected. There's so much more to uncover about relationships, confidence, and how to thrive as a high-value woman. Until next time, remember, the way you carry yourself inspires the energy you attract. Keep shining, and I'll see you in the next one.